Hi, Steph.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Nice to have you here in Poland. Could you just introduce yourself? Who you are, where are you from, and what do you do for a living?
I'm Steph Davis. I'm from the States. I live in Moab, Utah. I'm a climber, I'm a base jumper. I'm also a writer, a blogger, and a speaker.
Your successes, were they the result of your natural talent for climbing, or you were just hard working with just working ethic?
I definitely think putting the work in is important for everyone, and I think what I've noticed a lot in life and in climbing is sometimes when things are too easy at first, people don't learn to try so much and to work so hard. Because I think for the big projects, for the things that really challenge you, you have to just learn to work. I think you do have to have some natural ability. You can't have nothing, but I think everybody has ability. It's just a question of directing that and what you put your effort into.
But can everybody become an excellent climber?
I think potentially, yeah, I really do. I do. I think that sometimes people think I don't have the right body, I don't have the right something, but I think everybody does, actually. I think, you know, the lifestyle you choose. If you change the way you look at things. So if you're willing to do the exercise, work on your weaknesses, change all of your habits, the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you spend your days, I think anybody can get good at things.
So it's about devotion.
I think so.
What do you have to do to become a professional athlete? I mean, to just make your life, your climbing career a profession.
It's interesting. I think it's changed a lot. Probably '96 was when I started making my living through climbing, and you know, it's really changed a lot. It used to be go do good climbs. People think that's interesting, and then sometimes you get support for it. And it's not like that anymore. It's more I would say like a typical relationship or more typical business where it's important for you to give something. You have to make something. So whether that's, you know, maybe sometimes it's just inspiring people. For sure there's some people doing the career that way, but I think you need to produce something. You need to write, you need to give people information, you need to build content that people want. And I think that's the bottom of it. Just like any other business, you have to create something.
And coming back to climbing, there's a space for pressure, yeah, because you need to deliver with your climbing. Do you feel this pressure as a seller of some brands?
No, not so much. I used to, and again, I think it was a different model in the past. Now I think what's the most important thing is having good relationships and you know, again, saying, what do people want? What do people need? Like if people want to come to my blog and write letters, and if there's something there that's interesting for them, that's really good. So it's important for me to pay attention and think about what people want and then try to give it to them.
What do you say to young people who still don't know how to decide what to do in life? Steph, we want to be like you. We want to smiling all the time, have our professional career, passion, and be vegan.
Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. I mean, so many people write me and ask me that question.
Because you're a role model for many people around the world.
But it's a tough question because it's not the same answer for everybody. I mean, sometimes I'll get like a young kid writing to me and saying, I just want to climb, and should I just leave it all and go climbing now, and I'm 16? And I'm like, probably not, you know. When you're 16, you should go to school, you know, and then after you finish school, okay. But then if somebody writes to me and they're like, I have had this successful career on Wall Street and I hate it and I just want to chuck it all and, you know, go live on the road, I'm like, you should, because you already did that other thing. So it's interesting because it's not the same answer, right? So usually I feel like people kind of know what they should do. It's more like they just need to talk about it.
But now you're not only one of the most well-known female athlete, I mean climber, but also base jumper. And could you tell us something more about where this passion came from and what it is, base jumping?
Yeah, well, when I started jumping, you know, in a lot of ways it's very not like climbing. It's like fast and it's just very different physically, but really, I think one of the things that I love about climbing is I really love being up high, first of all. I like that feeling. I think for human beings there's something comfortable about being high because you feel like there's nothing on top of you, you can see everything. It's like a very safe feeling. And so with base jumping you spend your whole time going as high as possible.
But on the other way, as a free solo climber, you're afraid of falling down, yeah?
Well, yeah, we don't want to fall down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's better not to try.
But you know, it's with base jumping, it's half of the experience is climbing because you have to get up there. You don't just like magically get on top of the mountain. So you know, if you love adventure, if you love the mountains, there's a lot of things happening in the same places, and so that's a big appeal for me with base jumping, just where I am, being up high, and you know, also that feeling of being in the air is really magical. I know a lot of people that love surfing, and they love to be in the ocean. For me, I don't like that. I'm not a water person, but something about being in the air is really these like very short but like intense special times when you're kind of in this environment that isn't normal for a person and something you wouldn't imagine you could do.
And what about the risk and pushing the limits? Yeah.
With base jumping or with climbing?
With base jumping.
With base jumping. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you know, obviously as a climber, being in the mountains so long, we think a lot about risk. And I think every climber has made that decision that we understand there's risk, but we understand that we want to climb and we want to be in the mountains. So for me as a base jumper, I've kind of already done that thought process. You know, I have my decision about what risk is worth it to me to be in the mountains and to be in the air like that. I would say base jumping has taught me even more, though, about respect and about working really hard to understand limits and to try to be very respectful of the limits. You know, again, this is probably more like people who are like in the bigger mountains it's not about crossing those limits constantly. It's about understanding the limits so that you can kind of stay behind the limits and raising that very slowly. So that's what I've learned so far in base jumping.
So you seem not to be a person risking a lot or like being on the edge. More like trying to understand and figure out how to make it as safe as possible.
Yeah, I mean, ideally. So, you know, there's environments where it's totally fine to push it all the way. When you're bouldering or sport climbing, you know, doing hard cracks, like, yeah, you should be falling. You should be pushing it because that's the idea. The idea is that the game is to push it. But the important thing for me is to understand which game I'm playing. So if I'm climbing without a rope, that's not the game anymore. And for me, same with wingsuit-based jumping. Like the game isn't pushing it as far as I can push it. It's understanding what's appropriate. And you know, because it's really about the experience and having these beautiful experiences.
You wrote a lot about living in your truck, traveling a lot, like not having this stability in life, but what is luxury for a person that's had this kind of lifestyle? What do you really like?
Showers.
Showers, okay.
Definitely showers. Showers and kitchens are pretty awesome. But you know, it's such a trade-off. It's a balance because when you start having showers and kitchens, now you have to be cleaning them and you lose your free time. So I think the ultimate is this great balance of having that freedom and not losing that feeling of like being outside all the time and just being free. But then at the same time, having like the luxury of cleanliness and things that are comfortable. So I think it can still be simple though.
Well, tell us something more about your lifestyle, because it's only once it's simplicity, but you take a lot of care about what you eat, about animals around you, their rights. Tell us how you build your own world with veganism, with your yoga practice.
I just think it's good to keep it simple. I think that. And I don't know if you have this problem so much in Poland as we do in the States, where, you know, we have a very consumeristic society and...
We're starting to have as well.
Okay, I think it's spreading into the world, right? So I just feel like in the States we have this recent legacy, because it's a new country, of, you know, always trying to get more and more and newer and better, and it's not better. It's a lot of times we find ourselves in a bad place, and then people are saying like, I don't know what to eat and I feel terrible all the time, and people are getting sick, and there's like healthcare and all these, you know, pharmaceutical drugs, and you're like, whoa, you know, just eat good food. Go outside and walk up a hill. It's not that complicated, but somehow it became that way. So I just think, you know, obviously technology is great, and there's wonderful things. I mean, a lot of medicine is very amazing. Like you break your knee and they fix it. That's great. But we have to just kind of keep our eyes on the prize and say, what's the basic stuff? You know, just eat good food, walk up a hill, go outside. Just keep it simple as much as possible.
Spend quality time with people.
Yeah. Hang out with your animals.
So you're ambassador for less is more.
I think so.
Can be.
I think so.
Do you regret anything?
No, not really. Well, because if you are happy with your life, you can't regret things because everything that happened is, you know, we're here now talking to each other. Otherwise, we wouldn't be.
And maybe the last question, and like give you some space to tell what you want to tell. This happiness thing, where do we find it?
That's a good question. Happiness, I think, and I say this because I experience it again every time there's a challenge, but happiness is really a decision. And so you can decide to not be happy or you can decide to be happy, but it's really up to you. And it's always like, that's easy to say, but you know when you're having a hard time and you're thinking that, it's not easy. But I think when you really know that and you kind of hold that, you can try to get back to that even during the times when it's not feeling good. It's just that you know it's your decision. So much for having me here to the Górnolotni festival and to Poland for the second time. It's good to come back.